I've been dying to try this place.
Oh my god, me too. I've heard such good things about it.
Welcome to the Crime Diner. I'm Cindy. I'll be cooking for you this evening. Here are your menus.
Oh, what are you thinking about getting?
I don't know, murder with a side of cannibalism? What about you?
Ooh, that sounds good. I'm torn between historical mayhem and the social injustice, maybe?
Oh.
I just want to let you know that each episode comes with dinner, dessert, and a specialty drink chosen by yours truly.
Wine Dine and Storytime has had a makeover, and we invite you to slide into the booth with us at the Crime Diner, where each week we will discuss a crime over dinner, drinks, and dessert. See you there!
Please be advised, Mental Health Mondays deals with some heavy topics and subjects, such as mental health, suicide, sexual assault, and more. Please listen at your own discretion and please seek professional help if you are struggling. Thank you and enjoy the episode. Hey guys, welcome back. I know I think it's been like a month since I last recorded. And for that, I truly apologize. As per usual, my life has just been a mess. So I was going to leave it for a little bit longer, but then I thought, what's the point? You know, I always share what's going on with you guys. So why stop now? Why would I not do it again? A general life update. Let's see, I am in the process of moving house. I officially moved the first week of August, so I've just been packing, getting shit organized. So that's taken up a lot of time. I nearly lost a really, really close friend of mine. Unfortunately, they did try to take their own life. Fortunately, they made it through. There was a few days there we weren't sure if he would, but he has, thankfully. Seems like he's getting his life on track and doesn't want to be down that path again, which I know is always the hardest part, is getting out of that mindset. So nothing but proud of him. The effects of that and previous people I know who have attempted and have succeeded, I will touch on in another episode. I think it's important to get both sides. I know you guys know that I've attempted, but to also be the person on the end dealing with the effects of someone attempting or succeeding is a very, very different story and a very different position to be in. And I definitely want to be able to dive down that road with you guys, but this is not the episode for it. This episode, on the other hand, this episode, I wouldn't say could get me in trouble, but I don't know if a lot of people will accept, agree. There could be just a lot of opinions. And the reason I want to go down this path today is because this one thing has been affecting me for months. But it's also the reason I'm here talking to you guys. And I've heard some other podcasters touch on this subject. And as someone who has been personally dealt with it and been through it, I feel it's only fair for me to also bring my story to it. That is or the subject I'm talking about is the podcast community. If you can even call it a community. And the reason I say that is there is so much toxicity in that community. Now, I'm not saying everyone. Okay, I'm clearly still here podcasting, so, you know, I'm technically still part of that community, but I understand that we are all in competition with each other. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. But in saying that, especially going through different niches of podcasts and different subject matters, I feel we could do a lot better for each other by lifting us up and cross-promoting. Instead, people keep to their... It's like high school. The podcast community, which also reminds me a lot of the horror community, which I'm going to discuss on my other podcast, Gruesome Twosome, at some point. But for now, the podcast community, it's high school. Everyone's in their own little cliques. Everyone's got their groups and they stick to it. They don't venture out. They barely cross platforms unless you're in the same group. And when I say group, I'm talking the social media groups. Everyone is in their own group chat when it comes to Twitter and Instagram and other things like that. I am part of some of these groups. I'm not dissing the idea of a group chat. What I am dissing is the idea of a group chat to specifically target other podcasters. This is not okay. Whether you like someone or not, this is not okay. I've seen podcasts come and go. I've seen the mental health of so many podcasters completely decline. Because of other podcasters. What are we doing? Why is this how we choose to progress further in this industry? Especially, and when I'm saying podcasters, I'm saying primarily or more so the indie podcasters, like myself, like other smaller podcasts where, okay, we get numbers, but we're not on like a huge global scale where everyone knows who we are if you bring up our name to someone. You know, we're trying to build that reputation, and instead, the majority of Twitter for podcasters is just podcasters. It's not our fans, it's our podcasters. And everyone is just attacking everyone. We're adults. Every person I've come across that has a podcast is at least over 20. At least. Some 40 and above. Now I'm 29, I'm sort of in the center. But like, this is ridiculous. Why are we not mature enough to ignore the ones we don't want to go near and help support the ones that we do? And I'm not talking the same 6 fucking people every time. I'm talking venturing out. I'm talking going across the different subgenres. There was a few weeks back, or well, past a month now since I haven't recorded, where I mentioned that I spiraled down bad because of stuff that people were saying. Specifically what was said about me and who it was said to made it very obvious that these people are within the podcast community because it brought up the podcast. It brought up stuff I'd only said to certain people. It had made rumors about me to other podcasters. Who does that? What grown-ass adult sits there? Now I'm going to go through the whole fucking story. What grown-ass adult sits there and makes multiple social media accounts? Multiple. I'm not talking one. I'm talking one account would get blocked, another one would pop up. First of all, who has the fucking time to do that? And second of all, why? Multiple accounts just to DM people to say how bad of a person I am, or the kind of person I supposedly am. What? Why? What do you gain from that? Do you sit there and go out of your way to make multiple accounts to slander someone that you've likely, and I'm saying likely because I'm 99% certain they're not from the same country I am, someone you've never met? You go out of your way to slander someone you've never met in person and destroy their reputation. And for what? For what? And the worst thing is, I allowed this to happen. Well, not to happen, but I allowed myself to get affected by it. Because I spiraled so far down, and I've mentioned this on that episode. I spiraled so far down that I wanted to kill myself. Because I felt so hurt and so betrayed by a community that I thought I had support from, that I thought I fell in love with. And I've got multiple people who can back this up. I support everyone. I have retweeted and commented and shared and tried to get people to follow and tried to get people to listen to every podcast and every group chat that I go to. Do I have people I don't like? Sure. But you know what the funny thing is? I still promoted their content. And not for myself, because a lot of them didn't do it back, and I don't care. I do it because I feel that's what a community should do. But that's the thing. It is not a community. The podcast community is not a community. The podcast community is just a bunch of fucking adults whining. And clearly I'm one of them. I'm whining now. I'm not taking myself out of this equation. I am not better than anyone. But I feel like we could all as a group be a lot better. A lot better. And that just comes down to being a better human being. Now, have I said stuff to people about other people? Yeah, I have. I'm not going to lie. I'm not perfect. But would I go out of my way to slander someone? No. And a lot of these podcasters would. And like I said, I'm not naming names because it's not everyone. And I'm not here to name names. But there is so much drama and toxicity that happens online through the podcast community, and it is disgusting. We're out here making content for people to enjoy, for people to relate to. And I feel a lot of us spend more time bringing other people down or avoiding people or just being mean. Now, if we all put that same amount of energy into our podcast, where could we be? I mean, honestly, where could we be? Now, because of what happened to me and the slander that was occurring, I left the first group chat that I ever joined on Twitter And I 100% owe 100% owe where my other podcast is now to that group, because they did share it and they did promote it and they did, you know, build me up. Not to say I don't have my own presence on Twitter. I know that I do. I try to talk to nearly everyone just because that's who I am. But the thing is, there is someone, at least one person in that group that didn't like me, which is fine. Not everyone likes everyone. But to not like me to the point where you go out of your way to slander my name. What did I do? If I hurt you in any way, I truly apologize. Thankfully, it seems to have either gone or at least gone quiet for now. I hope it stays that way because my mental state can't handle it again. And it kills me, probably wrong choice of words, but it kills me to know that I got to the point where I wanted to kill myself because of words. Because of words. I'm better than that. I've pushed through so much more, so much worse than that. And I let some fucking idiot's words online affect me that way? Like, are you kidding me? So, for those of you who wondered where I went, especially with my presence online and less uploads and less podcasting, I had to sort myself out. I had to make sure I was in the right mindset to be able to record this. And I wasn't going to record this, not this subject. I've tossed and turned on it for a long time. But the point in this podcast is to be real and is to tell the truth and keep you guys updated with what's going on. Now, I am truly sorry for not being able to record. I am truly sorry to those in... I'm going to keep calling it a community because I don't know what else to call it, but to those in the community who thought I hated them or avoided them or not happy with them because I've blocked or not included certain groups and podcasts on my new social media account on Twitter, my personal one, not the Nuggiez one. I know a lot of people seemed to have gotten confused and hurt that I was no longer accepting a lot of friend requests from certain people. My trust has been completely broken from this experience. So my personal accounts across all social media are personal. I will accept and deny who I want to because of who I trust and don't trust. And just because of the gossip. Because there's a lot of gossip. Now, those of you who have been hurt by me doing this, I apologize. I still follow everyone on both my other accounts. This seems really petty, and I feel like I shouldn't have to do this, especially on my podcast. I don't even know if half of them are even going to hear this. But I need to get it out. I thought I had gotten it out. I made posts on previous stuff before to state this, but I'm still getting people that aren't happy. So, in case you haven't noticed, I'm a people pleaser. I try to be. But to wrap this all up, you know, All I wanted to do was to make content for you guys, whether that be on here or my horror movie podcast, and I feel like all I've gotten in return is abuse. Now, I'm not going to stop podcasting. I don't want them or anyone else to have the satisfaction of me quitting because of words. I am still here and I will continue to be here until further notice. Will Nuggiez be a bit less structured and scheduled? Unfortunately, yes. That's also because, as I said, I'm in the process of moving. I need to set up my new office studio sort of thing. But I just wanted to make sure you guys understood why I hadn't recorded in so long. I wanted to apologize to anyone I've hurt since starting either podcast. For those of you who don't know, I first started podcasting only in December. I'm still very new to this. But it's not okay the way we treat each other. And that's my main point I wanted to get across. We should be lifting. We should be supporting. Instead, we're bringing down people. Instead, we're slandering names. Instead, we're creating Twitter beef. Like, come on, guys. I don't like a lot of different people for different reasons in and out of podcasting, but I don't know anymore. I just think we're all adults. We should be able to like and not like who we want without causing trouble and without being abusive. That's all I'm getting at. Now, with that being said, that pretty much brings this episode to an end. I'm sorry it's been very doom and gloomy. I needed to get it off my chest. I needed you guys to know where my head was at and to know that I haven't quit. I'm not just disappearing. There's just going to be a lot of time between different recordings at the moment just because of life in general anyway. So with that being said, I hope you guys have the most wonderful, fantastic day. I hope my little recording hasn't put doom and gloom on anyone else's day. And yeah, you will hear from me, I'd say, in a week or two. So have a great day, guys.
I still want to roll another blunt.
I hear that. That's welcome to the PNM podcast. That's how it goes. Sometimes you want to roll another blunt. Sometimes you want to pour another shot. Light one up with us. Pour a shot with us, because I'm going to pass it to you eventually. And if it's not lit, then I'm going to tell you, hey, light yours.
Because I'm a light mind. I think that's pretty cool.
You can only find that on pnmpodcast.com. Let me tell you that again, because I don't think you heard it. pnmpodcast.com.
Stacy.
Thank you for listening to Mental Health Mondays. If you or anyone you know has a story to tell, whether that is mental health related or even just an anecdote for my other episode in the week, Sweet and Sour Nuggiez, please get in touch with us via email or via our social links. You can find us on both Twitter and Instagram at @SSNuggiezPod, that is SSNUGGIEZ pod, or you can email us at nuggiezpod@gmail.com. Once again, this has been your host, Ebony, and thank you for listening.